Well, with that, everyone, we are now just 1 week away from the Global Trophy Finals. We have one more stop before we get there, and it is the Americas Qualifiers. I'm joined alongside
Sam Elliott 64, and yes, it is. I mean, let's face it, how on earth can we top last week? I mean, Comoros, represented by Lithuania, winning the Africa section. The first time ever a pre-qualifying team has won an actual qualifiers. And not only that, a renamed team as well, a team that doesn't exist in the game. It's crazy.
To be fair, me and Sam, before beginning this video, were talking about how the fact that one of the BattleBots robots had a had a sex toy company sponsoring them at one point. So
yeah,
that's what we were speaking about.
Thanks for. If you can guess who it is, put it in the comments if you know.
Go on. But then delete your search history if you have to Google it.
Or don't.
Or don't. Yeah, if you want to be.
If you're into that kind of thing, you know, you do you.
If you're into, ooh, you see what my history is. Mine's just full of either food deliveries, Amazon purchases, or this YouTube video has been uploaded. So quite boring.
Yeah, I feel that. Let's talk about the Americas qualifiers, shall we?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Well, the first team, our dud team, is the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, they did really well in the preliminaries, but they just couldn't do it at the end. It was a 3-horse race at the end there for qualification without being a dud, and Cayman Islands unfortunately finished as the dud on that one.
Yeah, 1 point off or 2 points off, I think it was. So very, very close in the end, but they just ended up in that unfortunate 8th spot.
Yep. Next, closely finishing 7th, this former dud team, Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba just about squeaking through, even despite losing to Masterath, of course. If we remember back, it was so close at the end.
Yeah, that Masterath loss could essentially mean anyone could beat Cuba.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up, it is. I'm not sure if Maldives could beat Cuba, though. That might be a different thing altogether.
Or Equatorial Guinea.
Or Equatorial Guinea. Next up, it is Grenada.
Yeah, Grenada did okay. They managed to finish 6th in the end in the preliminary league, but, you know, that's a decent effort.
Yeah, decent effort for them.
Yeah.
Next up, finishing 5th, Belize.
Yeah, they had the longest undefeated run, didn't they? But they did lose in the end, and in the end they finished in a lowly 5th place, despite only having the 1 loss.
Yep, 7 wins and 7 draws was the reason for that.
It wasn't ideal, was it?
Yep. Next up, finishing 4th in the preliminary league for the Americas section, Bermuda.
They had a chance to win, but they didn't end up taking it, did they? They lost their final game to the eventual winners of the league, and it cost them, didn't it?
Yep, definitely did. Next up, it is team finishing 3rd, shockingly finishing 3rd, I'd say, because they were winning through most of it, Suriname.
Yeah, they were winning, and they had a 4-point lead at one point, and they threw it all away, and they didn't even finish on the same points as the leaders, did they? They were 1 behind.
Yep, and a team that did finish on joint points with the leaders, but sadly a weaker goal difference means they finished 2nd here, Barbados.
They actually had the chance to win, didn't they? I think they lost their final game. Or they drew their final game, or something like that. It was like, they had the opportunity to take it, and they just didn't do it.
Yeah, I think they might have drawn their final game, I think.
I think so.
Which allowed the winners of the preliminary league for the Americas this year, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to pick up the win.
Yeah, they did, and they won it on goal difference, as we said. You know, more goals for, and I think more goals against as well, but I can't remember. It was a couple of weeks ago now.
More goals for, less goals against. So yeah, it was
yeah.
goal difference essentially that won it for St. Vincent.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, first team to be able to automatically qualify, or lowest ranked team to be able to automatically qualify without the preliminary league. They have been in a fair few preliminary leagues before, but they've made it this time. St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes, and Kitts. I say normally they do end up in the pre-qualifying, but they do generally make it to the actual Americas qualifiers, don't they? But here they are.
Yep, automatic qualification for the first time in a while for St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yep.
Next up, Antigua and Barbuda.
I think they're another similar team, aren't they? Although they do tend to qualify automatically via FIFA ranking more often than not.
Yep, definitely nowadays. Next up, former Global Trophy, placers. They've actually entered a couple of those. Guatemala, one being kind of a couple of years ago.
Yeah, exactly. They were. It's fairly recent, wasn't it, for Guatemala? But yeah, a decent team.
Next up, a rock-solid team about 20 years ago. Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, do you remember when they used to have, like, Kenwyn Jones? And, like, Dwight York?
Dwight York.
Yeah, back in the day.
Back in the day. And that's probably the high point of the international team of Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, they played England, didn't they, in the World Cup?
Yeah. Obviously, Dwight York, brilliant player when he played for Manchester United.
And Villa.
With his strike partnership with a certain Andrew Cole.
Never heard of him.
There was an Andy Cole.
I know, I was joking.
Oh, I was expecting you to go, oh, I've heard of him.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I have heard of Andy Cole.
Yeah. But he likes to be called Andrew Cole now.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like... I thought as a child, when you're a child, if you got an elongated name, like my elongated name is Christopher, you'd be like, no, Chris! I don't go back to Christopher at all, because by that time, they'd have fallen asleep halfway through mentioning my name.
See, this is why my full name is Sam, not Samuel, so
yeah.
It's useful.
Next up, it is Haiti.
Yeah, Haiti. I think they've also been a pre-qualifier in recent years, but they've shot up the rankings here, interestingly.
Yeah, doing quite well. Next up, it is the new team in the America section that we're going to have to, again, represent with someone else. Each bloody continent has one. It's Curacao.
Yep, Curacao, of course, doesn't exist 20 years ago. I think they're only a recent team, aren't they? A recent nation that have formed. So who's representing them?
Well, it's in Africa.
Right.
And it's Uganda.
Okay, I mean, Uganda did beat Senegal. So, there's that. Did they qualify? I don't think they lost to Congo, didn't they? I want to say. Was it Congo they lost to?
I think it might have been Congo, yeah. Congo DR.
Yeah, so it's not a bad team. It's probably not as good as Lithuania did last week, but we'll see with Uganda.
Probably not.
No, I mean, if they do, then fair enough.
But to be fair, the America section is a much tougher section than the Africa section.
Yes.
But yep, obviously for people who, for some reason, this is the first Global Trophy video they're watching, this is because Uganda is just below Curacao in the FIFA rankings. So that's fine.
And of course, if they do end up qualifying somehow, Uganda can also represent them in the finals because Uganda are out already.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, the lowest ranked South American side. And it's not Venezuela, it's Bolivia.
Yeah, Bolivia moving down to, lowly places. But they have, in the past, of course, qualified for the Global Trophy in recent years. So let's see how they go on. Don't sleep on Bolivia.
Yep, next up, another team that have qualified for the Global Trophy in recent years and have actually done really well in the America section before. It's former semi-finalist in the America section, Panama.
Yeah, Panama, decent team, and they were in the World Cup, weren't they, in 2018? They lost to England.
Yeah, oh yeah, they did, yeah. That's probably why they've rocketed up the rankings, to be honest.
Yeah, because they qualified for the World Cup. Yeah, correct.
Next up, it is Honduras.
They had decent players back in the day as well, didn't they? They had, what was the guy's name? Was it Wilson Palacios?
It might have been, yeah.
He played for Wigan and Spurs. I think it was. I think he was Honduran.
Yeah, decent.
Yeah.
Next up, it is Jamaica. They've entered a few global trophies in their time.
They've got some decent players as well these days, haven't they? They've got, as a Villa fan, obviously I know Leon Bailey. Players like that as well. I want to say Damari Gray for Everton as well has now declared for Jamaica. And there's quite a few other players. Jamaica have got a fairly decent team.
Yeah, well, that's probably the reason why they're in the sort of higher regions here of the American section.
Correct.
When it comes to the FIFA rankings, at least.
Correct.
Excuse me, voice is starting to go. Next up, it is Ecuador.
They had a good team back in the day as well, didn't they? Not so much these days. They had Enna and Antonio Valencia, didn't they?
Yeah, some very sort of decent sort of middle of the road players, but Ecuador again in the higher echelons here right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, So yeah, they're ranked the 3rd lowest South American team, Venezuela.
Yeah, Venezuela have had a bit of a drop-off, haven't they, in recent years? I suppose they've got some decent players, not loads, but yeah.
Yeah, but at one point, Venezuela was the lowest-ranked South American team, and now they're above Bolivia and Ecuador.
So, sneaking up there, aren't they?
Yeah. Next up, our first of the North American teams, Canada.
Canada are good these days, aren't they, as well? They've got Alphonso Davies, who plays for Bayern, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And Jonathan David at Lille.
Yep, definitely. And next up, we have Costa Rica.
I remember when they did well in the... Was it the World Cup they did well in as well? They like the quarterfinals.
Yeah, wasn't that 2014, I want to say?
It was either 10 or 14. I can't remember which one it was.
I think it was 2000... Well, it might have been... I think it was 2014, I think.
I think it was as well. But it was one of those two. But they made a quarterfinals at some point, didn't they?
Yeah. Next up, it is Giants of the Americas section. They've made it to global trophies before. They've nearly won one before. It's Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico have only won one global trophy Americas section, but they have been runner-up in the global trophy overall. Even on YouTube, it was in 2017, losing out on that occasion to France.
And next up, God, if they don't make it this time, it's the current Global Trophy Champion of Champions, Brazil.
2-time Global Trophy champions, 3-time America's section champions. What can you say about Brazil? Samba football, but they haven't been very good in recent years. They have not made it to the Global Trophy finals since winning the Champion of Champions in 2018. They need to improve.
3 years they have not made it to the Global Trophy finals. If it wasn't for the fact that they automatically qualified to the Champion of Champions being reigning champions, they'd be in a lot of trouble.
They would be in a lot of trouble, but they have potential here to improve and show themselves in a good light.
Now we get to the top 8. These teams all qualified for the Global Trophy last year, representing America. First up, El Salvador.
Yeah, decent result for El Salvador last time. I want to say they were a pre-qualifier, but I can't remember.
No, I think they automatically qualified.
Oh, did they qualify? Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Next up, it is Colombia.
They have also... Actually, no, they haven't won an America section in the past, but they have finished in the top 8 in the Global Trophy finals on a couple of occasions. They're a decent team, Colombia, so do not write them off.
Yep, I can safely say the last 3 Global Trophy quarterfinals, Colombia's been in it. Only 3 teams have done that feat in the last 3 years. One of them is already out of this tournament, France, and the other is probably the firm favourite for this.
Yeah, we'll get to them a bit later on, won't we?
Yeah, but the other one is Colombia, being knocked out in the quarterfinals on the last 3 years.
Impressive stuff, isn't it, from Colombia?
Yeah, definitely. Next up, it is Uruguay.
The very first World Cup winner.
Have they done it since?
Yeah, they won another one. They won 2.
Have they done it after that?
No.
No.
No, they haven't.
That's all we really need to know, really. That's like Nottingham Forest saying, "Oh, we're European champions, we're the best."
It was a long time ago now. It was even longer than that. It was in the 30s, I think, that Uruguay won.
Were Nottingham Forest European champions like the 70s or 80s or something like that?
And they won it twice, yeah. I think it was the 80s.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Obviously, me and Sam were both born in the 90s, so we wouldn't have been, let's say, alive for that.
No.
Next up, semi-finalists of the America section last time round, Peru.
Good team. Very good team, Peru. Do not underestimate them. I think they... Was it them who knocked out Brazil last time? I want to say it might have been.
I think it might have been Peru, yeah.
I can't remember. It wasn't one of the big nations, was it?
It was one of the ones that usually do well.
Yeah.
But usually come up against a brick wall of either Argentina or Brazil or something, or Mexico.
Yeah, correct.
Next up, finishing 3rd in the America section, the United States of America.
A really good team, and on a good run of form as well. They've been solid in recent years and have made the finals and the semi-finals of the Americas section in the last couple seasons, so fair play to them.
Also, I've missed out quarter-finalists, so let's get Paraguay out of the way.
Yeah, Paraguay, of course, former Americas section champions back in 2009. It was a long time ago now. I actually didn't mention this, well, Ecuador have also won one in the past in 2007. But yes, well, let's talk about the top 2, shall we?
Yep, so finishing runner-up last year in the Americas section, the greatest team in Global Trophy history, the most amount of victories out of any team, and probably the favourite every year, it's Argentina.
Let's just break it down a little bit here, okay? Argentina have won the Americas section 9 times. 2020, 2019, 2016, 2014, 2012, 2010, 2008, 2006, 2005. They've also won the Global Trophy 3 times, only, level on wins with Spain and, I think, is it just Spain? I want to say it's just Spain now, isn't
Spain and Brazil's 2 times, aren't they?
Yeah, so, and France have won 4. So yeah, the level in second place on most Global Trophy wins with Spain. And also, you have to remember as well, until the merge between Asia and Oceania, there only used to be a top 4 go through from the Americas. And Argentina, pretty much every time they qualify, they make the top 8 of the Global Trophy. It's unbelievable, the consistency.
Yep, Argentina have, in every Global Trophy finals that they've appeared in, never failed to reach the quarterfinals. No other team has done that to that consistency. That's why they're the number 1 ranked team.
They're fantastic. But they didn't win the Americas section last year. That title
belongs to Chile.
Yeah, Chile have won the Americas section now on 2 occasions, which lists them into 3rd place for titles won in America. Yeah, what a team, and can they do it again?
Well, it's certainly possible, but we'll have to see if the game actually gives us a piss and break.
Yeah, don't forget to save state, Chris.
Yeah, I know. I'm just getting down to Cayman Islands first, then we'll go for a save.
Hopefully this works.
Nope.
Great. Good. Excellent.
Lovely. 4 in a row. 4 in a row. You want to say that again? 4 in a row.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Wrigley's.
Bubble Mint chewing gum.
Faroe Islands. Africa. Car.
How many other tropes have we got?
Nice.
Oh, dirty noise.
Vinnie Jones.
A dirty noise.
Vinnie Jones and a dirty nice. Okay, we'll see you back in a minute. Sorry, I was flubbing for a bit.
Why? Why doesn't it work?
I don't get what it is. There you go, so it's not that Cayman Islands are bottom that does it now. It's just random.
They just have to be in the correct place so you can see them, but why aren't they? Come on, you fucking fuckheads.
That's close enough.
Yep.
I'm going to keep that bit in beforehand as well.
Yeah, we'll go from here. Hello, everyone, we're back.
It doesn't look very good at the top, does it, this one?
I mean, there's a lot of big names down the bottom half of this, isn't there?
USA, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil. Well, we kick off with the champions, Chile. They've got Venezuela.
It's a good start for Chile here, but at a potential clean path into the quarterfinals. But Venezuela are not an easy team to beat.
Well, they are the champs.
Wow, I had to say it, didn't I? I had to say it.
Yep, champions got round 1. Venezuela through on penalties. They could qualify for the Global Trophy here because next it's Antigua and Barbuda versus St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Of course, St. Vincent, the preliminary league champions, they take on Antigua and Barbuda.
1-0 Antigua and Barbuda. St. Vincent out in round 1.
Such a shame, but they are eliminated, and we have another preliminary qualifier here. It's St. Kitts, not them. It's Bermuda.
Them.
Yes.
Win for Bermuda. Out go St. Kitts and Nevis.
Good result for Bermuda. They move on into the last 16.
And now we have another preliminary qualifier. Cuba, lowest ranked, without being the dud, taking on Ecuador.
Ecuador, of course, former American section champions.
They're through. Out go Cuba. 2-0 to Ecuador.
It's a shame for Cuba, but Ecuador moving on for a next round clash against Bermuda.
Trinidad and Tobago now. They take on El Salvador.
2 teams that are pre-qualified via FIFA ranking. Oh no, El Salvador, of course, were in the top 8 last year.
Yep, El Salvador were in the top 8 last time, and they could do it again this time. That's a win. 1-1 penalty win.
Yep, El Salvador through to the top 16, where they will take on either Barbados, the pre-qualifiers, or Guatemala, the FIFA ranking qualifier.
Yep, Barbados finishing second in the preliminary league. And they're through to the second round. Only the second team from the preliminaries to go through at the moment to round 2.
They do indeed. They will face El Salvador for a shot at a place in the Global Trophy Finals itself.
Yep, Colombia now versus Costa Rica. Big match, Colombia. Made it to the Global Trophy Finals last time round. Costa Rica missed out.
Yeah, they were, of course, quarter-finalists last time, Colombia.
They're through again. Penalty win over Costa Rica.
Yes, that's our third penalty win. Sorry, our fourth penalty win in our top part of the bracket. And Cayman Islands, the dud team, will take on another pre-qualifier, Suriname.
Yep, Suriname get a bye into round 2. But they've got Colombia, so it's not an easy task.
Definitely not, no. But they've got a chance, at least. That's what it's all about. You know, they have the opportunity. They've obviously earned their place here. They, went through the preliminary league, as did the Cayman Islands. But Suriname did better, and Suriname have the opportunity now of going through to the top 8.
Yep. But unfortunately, since the dud team is the 8th one, it's going to be quick-fire results from here on in.
It really is.
First one. Whoa!
That's a big shock.
Haiti beat Paraguay.
That is a massive shock. Haiti beat the former American section champions from 2009. Paraguay go home.
Brazil beat Mexico.
Mexico go home. They haven't qualified for the second year in a row, but Brazil have an opportunity to make it through.
For the first time in 4 years, Uruguay crushed Jamaica.
Uruguay through to the top 16, a great result for them. Jamaica, sadly for them, they are not going through this time.
Argentina crushed Canada, 13-1.
And Uruguay will take on Argentina. It's not an easy match for Argentina. They will have to be careful.
Yep, Uruguay, who were knocked out by Argentina last time round in the American section in the quarterfinals.
There you go.
Belize beat Uganda, so Belize beat Curacao in round 1.
Yep, Belize through, and we will not have a second incident of a renamed
Comoros.
team. Yeah, we won't have that again.
But Belize, the third team from the preliminaries, through to the second round.
I think it's the fourth, actually, but there you go.
The USA beat Bolivia.
To play Belize in the round of 16. So we have 2 more fixtures in the round of 32. Who's next?
Grenada beat Peru. There's your 4th.
No, there's a 5th. That's 5 now. Because Suriname did as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, so there's your 5th there. Jeez.
Wow. 5 out of 8 teams. And, of course, one of them have to lose. So 5 out of 7 teams have come through from the preliminaries. That's great.
Peru, semi-finalist in the American section last year, gone.
Yeah, eliminated. That's a shame for them. And that leaves us with our final fixture, which is...
Honduras beat Panama to go through to round 2.
It's a shame for Panama. They've had a good run recently, but they go home now. Serious business.
Venezuela, can they make it to the Global Trophy Finals? Oh, can Antigua and Bermuda? Big shock if Antigua can do it. Nope, Venezuela through to the Global Trophy Finals.
Good result there for Venezuela. Now we have our first of our preliminary top 16ers here as they take on Ecuador.
Yep, Bermuda finished 4th in the preliminary league. They're not through this time. Ecuador, 4-1. They're through.
They are indeed. Good result there for Ecuador. Now we move on to our second pre-qualifying team, Barbados. They take on El Salvador. Probably a little bit of an easier match.
Yep, Barbados finishing 2nd. They're through!
They've beat El Salvador, and they're through. El Salvador, of course, last year in the top 8. Not this time.
Yep, can Colombia make it to a potential 4th in a row Global Trophy Finals? They've got Suriname, who finished 3rd in the preliminary league.
Not an easy one, but should be a Colombia win.
6-0 Colombia. They're through for the 4th time in a row.
Good result, Colombia. They move on to the Global Trophy Finals. Brazil now have the opportunity. Yep. Can they do it? It's Haiti.
Yep, they've got Haiti. 9-0. Brazil have finally done it. They're back in the Global Trophy Finals.
They've earned it. They beat Mexico in the first round, of course, and Haiti 9-0 defeat. Brazil are back.
Yep, back in the Global Trophy Finals. Uruguay, Argentina next.
This is the big crunch match of the top 16. One of the big teams from the USA, or the Americas, sorry, is going home here.
Yep, Argentina the favourites. They're through 3-0.
The two big dogs from South America have both made it to the Global Trophy Finals.
That sets up Argentina, Brazil in the quarterfinals.
But they're both through. That's the key thing here.
Belize finished 5th in the preliminary leagues versus the USA, semi-finalists last year in the Americas section.
USA, the hot favourites, but Belize could spring a surprise here.
It's a draw and it's a penalty win for the USA.
Hard luck Belize there, but USA through to yet another Global Trophy.
Yep, Grenada. Can they be the second team of the preliminaries to go through? They've got Honduras.
It's a winnable game for Grenada.
Honduras win 1-0 and are through to the Global Trophy Finals.
I tell you what, if you look at all the relative, sections, this is probably the strongest, isn't it?
Well, Brazil and Argentina in there, definitely. Colombia as well.
Ecuador, former America's winners. USA as well have done well in the past.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's strong. It's very strong. We kick off with Venezuela versus Ecuador.
Ecuador, of course, the former America's champions back in 2007, probably the favourites here.
Ecuador win 4-1. They're through to the semi-finals.
Good result there for Ecuador.
Barbados Colombia next.
The pre-qualifiers Barbados, they didn't win the preliminary league. They threw it away on the last game week. Can they go further in this?
Nope, Colombia win 2-0 and are through to the semi-finals for a clash with Ecuador.
Good result for Colombia there. The big one, Brazil-Argentina.
Yep, Argentina have crushed Brazil on the last few occasions. They've done it again! Argentina through!
On penalties, Argentina through to yet another, of course, America's semi-final.
USA now against Honduras. They were semi-finals last time round, the USA.
Can they do it again?
Can they repeat the feat? They can! On penalties, they've done it!
It sets up that clash once again with Argentina, who they always seem to end up playing, don't they?
Yeah, Ecuador Colombia for the fight for the first spot in the finals.
Yep, Ecuador probably getting the favourites, but Colombia have been very good in this, haven't they? I've been very impressed.
Colombia through, 2-0.
Good result. Colombia have an opportunity to win their first ever America section, but if they're playing Argentina, they're definitely not going to be the favourites.
They are against Argentina. 2-1 win over the USA. Argentina going for number 10.
Number 9.
Is it number 9?
No, it is number 10. No, this is La Decima. This is the chance.
This is their 10th win coming up. Possibly it is. Argentina win number 10.
And they equal Australia for the most amounts of wins for a local competition. Argentina with their 10th America's section victory.
Yep. Argentina again. Gotta be, again, they always are the favourites to win the entire competition.
They're just so good. I don't understand.
3-time Global Trophy champions. They're looking to make it 4. But then you've got Colombia in there as well. Made it to 3 consecutive Global Trophy finals. Quarterfinals even. Brazil are back in there. USA's in there. That's a strong lineup for the Americas.
It really is. It's been so long since we've had America's win. The last 6 global trophies have gone back to Europe, with Spain, France, Portugal and the Netherlands winning. So, hey look, it's game on now.
Yep, and with a weak, I'd say a weak European group. This could be very interesting.
It really could. I'm excited for next week's episode. This is going to be an absolute classic, I'm sure of it.
Yep, the Global Trophy Finals, where we've got... Well, essentially, first off, we're going to have to take a slight break, I think, from our recording, because we need to find out who's going to be the dud.
We do, indeed. We'll let you know.
Yeah, so next week, the 2022 Global Trophy Finals. Not only is it a chance for those 32 teams to try and cement their legacy in the lineage of the Global Trophy, but also chances to win more points to qualify for, at the end of this year, the Champion of Champions 2022 as well.
Yep, of course, the top 32 points scorers from the last 4 years, not all time like last time, are going to be duking it out for the coveted every 4 years trophy. Yeah, it's going to be big, isn't it? It's going to be huge.
Yeah, which is currently held by Brazil, but Brazil obviously had a nightmare in the last couple of years. But they're back, finally, in the Global Trophy Finals for the first time in 4 years.
It's going to be a tough ask for them to win it. I think Argentina, as we've already said, definitely the favourites going into this, but you never know. It could go, like, there are lots of teams that could win it. Like, you cannot write off Germany, of course, they won the European section. You can't write off Brazil. You know, Nigeria and Cameroon as well. Like, they're established big winning teams. And of course, let's not forget, Italy are still there, aren't
always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, you cannot discount Italy.
Well, who's going to win? We'll find out next week for the Global Trophy Finals. We'll see you then.
Bye for now.